KDB.
It is fire.
KDB. 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 KDB.
Beats Planet.
And we back, and I'm mad as hell. My blue flame ain't flaming, man. I'm pissed off, man. So let me hit that button and then go to here. All right, cool. So we got half of the guests that we got tonight. We got the Frankly Football crew. Brandon's here from Frankly Football. What's happening, sir?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing, my brother?
Everything's everything. Doski Woski. Peasky is free. At some point, Set It Off Chris will be here, and I'll do some gymnastics behind the scenes and get his picture cropped in nice. But whenever we get there, we will get there. We're going to talk a little bit of football today, a lot of bit of football. I'm going to hold y'all for like an hour or so, maybe an hour and some change, depending on if Set It Off Chris get here. If not, we'll just figure out his side of things. We'll just Photoshop him into the picture and act like we talked about him.
That's right.
But we just gonna bust it open by some Cowboys, man. Chat box, what's good? What's good? Who's up in here? Joe's up in here. Aisha up in here. Anime Dolph fans up in here. He said somebody said that Sam Darnold was running around and he was as fast as Mike Vick, and that made Anime Dolph fans head hurt. So Hate that had to happen to you. Ready Red,
Don't
I'm
let 'em
sending
get
you a
mono
shirt
again.
soon. Salute. And Twitter Brandon up in here. Yeah, and shouts out to everybody for coming through. Shouts out to everybody for coming through. Big Josh shooting this shot at Aisha again. Hey, man, consistency, man. Consistency.
You
Anyway,
gonna get it one day.
one day. No, you won't. No, you're not. So,
Shout out to all 14 Aishas.
yeah, we got 3.
We appreciate all of y'all.
We got 3. So, we gonna boogie today. We're gonna talk a little bit of Cowboys and preview Cowboys Rams. But before we do that, though, Brandon, just like give me some thoughts, right? Some of your thoughts, because normally you got to call in. I got to cut you off in like 10 minutes or like 6 minutes or whatever. This is your time to get all your notes out, fam. Give me your thoughts on the Cowboys throughout the first 3 weeks.
Man, our offense look elite. I mean, and I really mean that by every stretch of that word. I don't think that it is many teams who will be able to keep up with us throughout all 4 quarters. And we got to give credit to the Rams and the Seahawks. They're good teams.
Right.
The Seahawks are and always have been horribly unappreciated at the quarterback position. Russell Wilson is a monster.
Sure.
And they finally have him some competent receivers. They ain't quite got an O-line yet. They think that he can protect himself, which, for what it's worth, has been working.
He's been doing it. He's been fine. Yeah. Go ahead.
But the same goes for the Rams. The Rams have superior coaching, and I'm very deliberate with my words. Superior is the best way to describe their coaching situation. Sean McVay is an offensive mastermind. Right. He found the one thing that worked against the Cowboys, which was a weird wing T, and exploited it. They didn't stop doing it. So for us to lose against those 2 teams, I'm not ashamed of that. I'm pretty sure that the Ravens aren't ashamed of losing to the Chiefs, for example.
Sure.
They're still a good team.
Sure.
Now, as far as our defense goes, there will be improvement. I think that on a lot of levels of the defense, there's help on the way.
Right.
We got Randy, the Macho Man Savage Gregory, coming back in a couple weeks. And he's going to be another one of those guys who can hop out of bed and give you probably 7 sacks in that half a season that he's going to be here.
Sure.
You got Sean Lee and Leighton Vander Esch, hopefully with Sean Lee being a cyborg, like a T-800 or something like that.
Sure. And
Leighton Vander Esch having a robotic neck. And
what, the wind blowing outside, man? What's going on, man?
Man, my lady just rushed in the door because she texted me, said that she had to go to the bathroom, so she ran in there. Like,
you ain't gotta put the business out all out on the YouTube. Like 10,000 people watching this, man. Come on now. But go ahead. Go ahead.
So anyway, they're gonna come back looking like cyborgs and be able to bolster that second level of the defense. And pretty soon we're gonna have Anthony Brown and Cheeto back to help out our secondary. So help is on the way as far as our defense goes. Nobody scares me.
I have an idea. I can't prove it yet because I haven't put time into proving it. But when I have ideas that I can't prove that they are interesting. I don't think we bad on defense necessarily. We probably average on defense, and we're not good yet. But I don't think we're bad. If you look throughout the games, and if you take away the big play, you know what I mean? If you take away the big play, not only are we 3-0, right?
Yes.
Not only are we that, but the defense doesn't look that bad as a whole. So those drives where you just kind of got to drive and then score, we don't really give up that many points on those drives. If anything, we give up 2 points. I mean, we give up field goals, or we'll give up a touchdown every now and then. Russell Wilson really had us last week on that one, but even that wouldn't have been a whole 8 points if we didn't have the dumb little penalty or whatever. So in my mind, the defense stopped the Seahawks 8 times.
Absolutely,
they stopped them. You know what I mean? It's just that we can't afford that the one play from DK that gets us over the top. Diggs helped us on one. Diggs saved us on one. But DK would have had 2. And Tyler had 2. If we didn't give up those big plays, we don't look terrible on defense. And I don't need this defense to be elite because my offense is elite. I just need my defense to give up one less big play a game, and we 3-0. What you think about that?
Absolutely. And I definitely think that they can do that. There's no instant fix to this because this is almost an entirely new defense.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just going through the gelling process.
Sure.
Um, like I said, when you get Randy back, you're gonna see the pressure skyrocket. When you get Cheeto and Anthony Brown back, you're
Right.
gonna see coverage be bolstered.
Mm-hmm.
So I recognize that we just going through some woes right now, but in the long haul, when we are facing easier opponents, because we face some tougher opponents now. We face the tougher offenses that we're going to face right now. We just have Baltimore and San Fran coming up in the future. But it's only going to get easier from here with our defense getting better. So it's a win-win.
So we have the young Will Steele in my chat box or whatnot, and he must have only heard the last piece of what I just said. He says, "Come on, G, you one of those if you take away this and that and this and that type of cats." I ain't say that. I because if of course if you take away anything will be different. What I'm saying in particular is that if you fix those issues, which are fixable, then you win 3 games and his defense don't look terrible. There's a difference between a big problem and a small problem. A big problem is I got Sam Darnold playing quarterback. That's a big problem. You know what I mean? But in the National Football League, offense is going to move. Offense is going to play. Cornerbacks going to get beat. If you want to name top tier elite cornerbacks, you may name 6 people, 5 maybe, and every team got to at least play with 2 or 3 of them. So every team have cornerbacks that's not elite, and we have guys that are going to get beat. What I'm saying is, if you fix the plays that are fixable, if you just line up in the right spot and you looking in the right place, that's one less big play. If you give proper safety help behind Diggs, that's one less big play. If you don't bite on the flats when you should be dropping and getting depth, that's one less big play. It's not a shoulda, coulda, woulda magic wand. Can I make this play disappear? It's the plays that you messed up at. It wasn't a product of you getting smoked. Darryl Worley getting whooped by Lockett on the deep comeback on the sideline. Darryl Worley can't fix that. But if Xavier Woods simply plays the right leverage behind Diggs, that's 14 points. That's what I'm saying, young Will Steele. I ain't shooting at you or nothing. I just feel like you was kind of misunderstanding where I was coming from. So I'm optimistic about this defense. Even with the Falcons game, right? If we don't fumble the ball 5 times, the defense aren't in that position, and they probably don't put 39 points or what was it, 21 in the first quarter, something like that. Maybe if we don't do those things, which are small problems, which are fixable problems, you see what I'm saying? Then we don't have those issues. Then we'll be a 3-0 team. But we play 16 games for a reason. Brandon, your thoughts on anything I just said? Go ahead.
And I'm glad that you used the word issues and problems.
Sure.
An issue is our top 2 corners are out for a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
A problem is if you ain't got no guys that'll come back in the first place.
Right.
So we have fixable issues. We don't have too many problems. And yes, if there are any coaching changes that are going to come about from this brand new coaching staff with a lot of these brand new guys,
right,
those are things that are correctable.
Right.
We've seen now where our defenders are going for the ball. Our guys are getting swats. We've seen those things get corrected. Those are issues getting fixed. If we had a problem, we wouldn't have the talent to put on the field in the first place.
Sure.
And that's what I want Will Steele to understand.
Somebody called D-Law soft on my D-Law video this week. Hey boy.
Hey, man, did they realize that he is leading the team in pressure?
I got upset, man. Tell him again. Go ahead.
He is leading the team in pressures. D-Law has 9 pressures in 3 games.
Right.
He might not be getting the sacks, but he is definitely leading the opposing quarterback to your Alden Smiths and your Antoine Woods, who are getting the sacks. Pressures is like an underappreciated stat, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But when it's going to result in good things, I guarantee you that the guys in the locker room don't think that he's soft or that he's slacking. They're seeing that he is setting them up to knock the other guy down.
Isn't it weird how the dude on the other side of D-Law every year is just the dude that's getting all the sacks? Don't nobody find that? Nobody find that strange? Robert
Right?
Quinn.
How's Robert Quinn doing right now?
Robert Quinn show up in Miami and don't get sacks. He's on the other side of D-Law. He gets sacks. He go to Chicago. I haven't heard of him all year. You know what I'm saying? Ain't that strange?
Yeah, it's a coincidence, right?
I really wanted to show that on my latest D-Law video, and I hadn't done a video on him in 3 weeks, but people thought I was running from the topic. I wasn't running from the topic. It's just that he's doing a lot of auxiliary things. Auxiliary things aren't fun to show on film. So this week when I did my D-Law video, I showed the dirty work auxiliary things, and that was like 15 plays. He only played 30. He only played 30 plays, and I showed you 15 positive plays. They weren't sacks, but there's a lot more that goes into playing D-end than sacks. Sometimes it's about sacrificing something to let somebody else get a sack. You see what I'm saying? And Alden is leading the league in that. You know what I mean?
That's right. He's reaping all of those benefits.
Absolutely. Plus, teams don't run to D-Law's side. Nobody says that ever. Nobody. They never run to the right. When D-Law's on the field, they never run to the right. They only run to the right if Dorrance over there or if Everson is over there. And Everson had a pretty good play versus the run this week. I just don't understand all this D-Law hating. It all comes down to pocket watching. I watch film. I don't watch people's pockets. I don't watch people's money. You know what I mean? And if you only worried about D-Law money, you should go buy a football team and make yourself the GM. But as of us, just being fans, just just viewers, just watch some film and not worry about the money side of it.
Absolutely. Once you start getting into the dollar and the play per dollar, you nitpicking a little bit, and that it's really going to skew your view.
What I've learned about Cowboy fans is that if you broke as hell, they love you. So Connor McGovern ain't making a lot of money, so they really want to see him play right now. You know what I'm saying? Tony need more carries. Zeke's a waste of money. D-Law's a waste of money. Byron would have been a waste of money if we'd have signed him.
I'm gonna stop you right there. You know, if you would have gave Byron Jones the contract that he wanted, he would be the 5th highest paid cornerback right now. Oh, he was already at 5th. So I wanted to beat you before you got to Dak. People are complaining about Dak now that he want to get paid. Yeah. But that is a great barometer of how quickly that contract is going to age.
Sure. Once upon a time, people was like, yo, there's no way you paid Dak 33. Well, the number's 40 now. the number is 40. And look, you better hop on 40 before the number turns to 45 and 50. You know what I'm saying? D-Law is gonna make $20 million at some point, but he's only making 17 this year. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So when he's making 20, the next dude that gets paid or whatever. I mean, who's next to get paid? Miles just got paid. So I guess Joey little brother gonna get paid in 2 years, I guess.
Yeah, probably.
He'll be making like 30 or so. Why?
I was going to say 28, but hey, 30 seems like a good number.
You know what I'm saying? So, if the best defensive player in the league is making 28, 29, 30, and D-Law is making 17, 20, we might want to chill. That's just the way the game goes.
Yeah.
Do we need Earl Thomas on this team?
We need research. I'm not sure if Earl is the guy.
Yeah.
But I am now sure that X Woods isn't the guy, and I'm leaning towards saying that Darian Thompson isn't the guy. So whether it's Earl or, bring you raised a great point. Mm-hmm. Do you call Clinton Dix back,
right?
Or you gotta do some research, reevaluate whether the guys that you already have on the roster,
right,
or outside guys. I'm not sure if it's Earl specifically,
right? But
I do think that there's help needed, and I thought of a great point yesterday when I was sitting on my backyard listening to J. Cole.
Okay.
And writing notes.
Of course.
So, obviously, we have Brandon Carr on this team now.
Right.
What do you think he has told the front office the reason that they haven't gone and spoken to Earl again since our safety woes?
Sure. 100%. I think a combination of all that information coming out, Brandon possibly saying things. Earl kind of went to Houston, and Houston was like, "Don't worry about it." Houston was like, "My bad, we straight." And Earl still ain't got a job yet. You know, there was a subset of people that was like, oh, we wait until week 1 so that his money not guaranteed. Okay, it's week 4 now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And look, man, our guys may not be the guys. I'll say that. But allegedly, Earl ain't the guy neither. Also, I found it interesting. I would love to know what Cowboy fans' reaction would be to certain things. You know what I mean? Like, what would their reaction to be if Earl Thomas came here and we were still bad? Or what if we signed Jamal Adams and we were still like? What if we gave up 2 first-round picks, like a third and who was it, like a safety or something, and we just gave them like Donovan Wilson? If we gave them all that and we were still bad on defense, how would we react to it?
That's right.
All the time, we got set off Chris
that,
over here. Wait, time out. We got old man.
Hey,
What's up, man?
we got
Old man right now. What's going on, fella?
It's all good, man. We're gonna I'm gonna slowly get you cropped into this situation and have you and have you face my audience. But we live right now, set it off Chris, so don't say nothing incriminating. But
No, I won't say nothing at all. No, not yet anyway.
But go ahead, Brandon, tell me about your safety take.
I think that if you bring Earl in and he doesn't succeed, or you bring any outside guy in, Jamal, Earl, or anybody,
Right.
and they don't succeed,
Right.
of course the Cowboys fans are going to have a lot to say.
Right.
Because you're going to have those people that were against it the entire time, and they're going to be the main vocal group. And then you also going to have the people that are having the opinion of whatever's going on at that time.
Right.
They could have been the loudest one saying, oh, bring Earl in. But then if he fails, they're going to be the loudest one saying, oh, Jerry should have never paid him, things like that. But I think every football team has fans that do that.
Right.
The Cowboys just have the largest fan base. So it's the most visual.
But if I'm a Seahawk fan, though, do I want my money back? Can I get my picks back? You know what I mean? Like I called Jamal Adams a box safety for 3 months. And people was like, oh, Voch, he's more than just a box safety, Voch. You need to chill. You're disrespecting Jamal Adams. And we play against Seattle.
Plays and outside of the box.
We play against
the entire
Seattle.
last season.
And he did nothing but blitz and chase Zeke. He did nothing in the backfield. And I don't even think the Cowboys that bad versus the run right now. So what was he gonna do? Set off Chris. Can you give me a point on that? What you think about the safety situation, Jamal Adams and what's his face? E.T. Earl Thomas?
Well, both of those guys are first-round players. Both of those guys are great players, man. First off, man, thank you for inviting me.
No doubt.
Sorry I was running around, busy life, man. But I appreciate it, man. I feel like Foots, man, when he got 5,000 things going on, I turned around, but forgive me for being late, man. But both of those guys,
Go ahead.
we've all said were great players.
Mm-hmm.
Jamal Adams was a first-round pick.
Right.
Earl Thomas is pretty much on his way to the Hall of Fame.
Sure.
But it didn't matter who they had back then. They were going to complain about it.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, Brandon said it best. When we were going to talk about giving somebody form, it didn't matter. But man, my thing is getting great safety play. They've always ignored the safeties.
Mm-hmm.
They've ignored safeties for years. They haven't gone out and got a guy who can be, that playmaker in the back end. And then when you do get a guy like that, he never does enough. Byron Jones was back there, but Byron Jones never did enough, according to most fans. He always had a problem. So, man, I mean, they complained about Brock Marion when he was back there. They complained about, James Watson when he was back there, man. The Cowboy fans are never satisfied. If a guy ain't getting 15 interceptions, getting over 100 tackles, he ain't daggone making the Kool-Aid, kissing babies and handing out popcorn, man, they gonna complain. So my whole problem, man, is, listen, you are in the third game of the season. You got 2 guys back there who are one's a late round guy you thought was a great guy last year,
Right.
and you got a guy who's a third round pick from somewhere else. Going to get Earl, it would have been the name. I don't want a name. I want production, but production has to work hand in hand. And right now, it's not able to do that because you're putting so many people in the rotation up front with the pass rush. And because most people don't watch enough tape, they don't see what guys are doing. So, I mean, people are jumping up and down right now saying, James Smith needs to go. And James Smith's actually playing very, very well. They don't look the fact of the matter that Leighton Vander Esch has always been a guy who's never been good in traffic, never been a guy that's been good at tackling like that. But he's the guy. He's not hated by the fan base like Jalen Smith is.
Well, I tell you what, man. The last thing we need to do. Well, the last thing we need to do is get the Cowboy fans.
You're going to either turn around now and say, let's scrap everything. You put Donovan Wilson out there, so if Donovan Wilson ain't the guy, then then what's your next problem? What's the next thing you're going to do then? You 5-6 games into the season, and then you 5-6 more games into the season. Donovan Wilson ain't the guy, so then what you going to do?
So you're saying that Earl won't help this team is what you're saying? So you don't want to go get Earl Thomas is what you're saying?
Listen, I want if I go get Earl right now, third game into the season, and I'm on record of saying as of the last game, I need to go get a safety. But it had to be a problem somewhere else because Tyler Lockett ran right in front of both of them. It wasn't like it was some fancy smancy move. Tyler Lockett ran right past both of them. Right. So either they had glasses on, or or somebody cheating and somebody trying to do your job or this job. But if I go get Earl right now, and if Earl, like Brandon just said, if Earl does not just go off, then what am I left to do now? I'm gonna go get a name, but am I gonna go get the same Earl Thomas? 3-4 years ago. I don't know, man.
Sure.
Whoa.
Well, regardless of what happens, man, we gonna go 14-2 regardless.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We about to sweep the whole rest of this thing.
I mean, that's the only thing left to do, Brock.
Yeah.
That's the only thing left to do.
Yeah. I don't know. It is what it is. All right, so let me hit this transition button because I tried to fix it, but we gonna boogie like this. That's how we gonna boogie. We got Brandon and Chris from Frankly Football on YouTube, and at some point Brandon is gonna get his link and drop it in the chat box, but he's on his phone, so he probably can't. So I'll go to his YouTube channel and drop it in the chat box, whatever, so you can see both of these gentlemen. Chris, when did you turn into a YouTuber? Because once upon a time you used to call into my show and let people have it, and now all of a sudden y'all are a duo. When this happened, Chris?
No, man. Honestly,
tell that story. Go ahead and tell that story.
The story turned out is that I found out Brandon was from Virginia, and I'm originally from North Carolina. I've been in Virginia since 2000, man. And I saw his videos one time, and I saw he was on there. He was smart. He had great points, and I said, well, you know what? I could be his Pippen to his Jordan. So I said, well, why don't I just kick it with him and do that? And I always wanted to get better at this. I always wanted to. I think we had really good chemistry because we sat down and talked. And I said, hey, man, I could try this because I just really want, like, Joseph Sandberg is great, man. Joseph's a great admin. Right. He does a lot of background stuff and things of that nature. So I said, man, I could just kind of be that. But we started talking and they said, well, man, let's get on and see what we could do. And then that's what we started doing. We just started collaborating, man. And he's always got fresh ideas. He's always coming with good stuff like that. And I just love talking about the Cowboys, man. So it just became, easy for us to flow together.
Okay, that works. So let me ask y'all this question, gentlemen. Since I got both y'all here now, we can get on to the proceedings this evening. Y'all not one of them goofy people that think we about to lose to the Browns, right? Like I understand that the Browns are talented and they got a lot of people that are good that can give you problems, but y'all don't really think that we're gonna lose to these folks. Brandon, what you think about that?
Not at all, man. The Browns have showed us who they are. When they played against a good team in the form of the Ravens, Baker had to throw the ball like 32 times and only completed like 50% of his passes or something like that.
Right.
And when he played against two bad teams in the form of the Bengals, which I could heavily argue that Joe Burrow looked like the better quarterback in that game, and against the Washington football custodians, he didn't have to throw the ball that much. He threw the ball like 20 times in each of those games. So you see that he is not leaned on in that offense. They're going to run that ball with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, and that's why both of them have over I think it's over 300 rushing yards each or 200 rushing yards each or something.
Right.
And this might be a medium hot take, but to me, Baker Mayfield is just Case Keenum with a bigger arm. I don't fear Baker Mayfield. I think that if you get Baker Mayfield on the back of his feet, then he's going to make mistakes and end up on his back. That's why he's been sacked multiple times in every game. I think he's been sacked 2 times in every game or something like that.
Chris?
Hey, man, I think I always think we're going to win. I think this is just going to be a game where a lot of people get a lot of redemption. I think Demarcus Lawrence has an amazing game. I think Tristan Hill continues to work and become better. I think my front four, Everson Griffin, gets into the flow. Heavy-handed Arthur Smith, does his thing, and then everybody gets just a chance to flow. Yeah. After going back and looking at the first 2 games of the season, some people had some runs, but it was a lot of stuff where you had to miss directions. If you ran straight at them, that's not something you're going to be able to do. Right. You're not going to be able to run straight at them and run them over, but you can misdirection them. Carson had a big run on an edge run to the outside. Malcolm Brown, with everything the Rams do in the 2020 pro wing T offense, they give you a lot of stuff. But if you're gonna just line up and say, "Hey, we're gonna do this and the other," I think they handle it. That's been the one thing they have done all year. They've been able to go stretches where they get off the field 2 and 3 series in a row, and then the offense turns around and goes forward. If our offense quit fumbling the ball or turning the ball over certain places, we would have blown out everyone we played. We've had everybody we played on the ropes, and then they turn around and have a play here or a miscommunication there, and then puts the defense back on the field. So I think it's going to be a good game, but I just think it's going to be just kind of a redemption game for everyone. It's only so many times you can punch certain guys in the face on this team, and they don't respond. I think Demarcus Lawrence is going to have a great game, and I think Dallas wins by at least 2 touchdowns.
Well, my first thought, first and foremost, man, just man, when I think about who Baker Mayfield is, man, and I'm not gonna preach right now. I'm not gonna give a sermon because we haven't earned it. I'm not gonna give a sermon because we ain't earned it yet. But when I think of who Baker Mayfield is, I think of that's who Dak haters think Dak Prescott's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? When you think about a Dak hater, what they say, oh, he's cool, he's a bus driver, he's getting carried by his running back with his talented receivers and his offensive line. That's what they say about Rain Dakota. That's what they say. See. But if Dak got Odell Beckham, Dak finds a way to get Odell Beckham going, correct? If Dak had Jarvis Landry, we find a way to get Jarvis Landry going, correct? Now, Baker hasn't been able to do that. See, Baker hadn't been able to do that. When I heard the pundits say, oh, well, Odell Beckham gets to play against that Dallas Cowboys secondary. No. Baker Mayfield gets to play against the Cowboys defense, you see, that's the difference. See, right. I don't think Baker Mayfield is equipped as a quarterback to deal or to beat us. You see what I'm saying? Somebody was like, I was on Quincy Carrier. He's a Browns YouTuber. I was on his show. He was like, yeah, man, what I think should happen, a good game plan for the Browns or whatever, you know what I'm saying, is to run the ball with Chubb, get a 10-point lead, and play keep away. Man, that's cute. But when Rain Dakota Prescott start going 7, 14, 21, 28 in a matter of seconds, your 10-point lead means nothing because we've played versus the best offenses in the league so far, with the exception of 2 of them being Chiefs and Ravens. But the other greatest offenses in the league, we've played them, and we've played them by double-digit deficits and come back to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So in my mind, the only way we lose to the Browns is if we beat ourselves or Baker Mayfield turned into somebody he ain't been in 3 years. And I don't think Baker Mayfield has the ability to do that necessarily. You know what I mean? So yeah, they talented, but they're talented in theory. I need you to be talented in practice.
Right. The Baker Mayfield hasn't been Russell Wilson, Matt Ryan or Jared Goff ever inside of his career. The only time he's been that he's never been any of those guys. And so I can definitely understand what you're saying. But I also going to understand that you're right. That Cowboys defense has played better than what – it's just the big plays. You minus the big plays, which Cleveland hasn't had those kind of big plays. They've had long, draining drives. You have to have big plays.
Oh, wait, Chris. I got to cut you off. Wait, Chris. That point was brilliant. Cleveland don't have none of them. Cleveland don't have them kind of plays.
That's why this week has been really frustrating listening to a lot of YouTubers.
Sure. Because
they just think, man, that, this guy's just coming in there and he's Baker from OU. He's Baker from, when he was playing there. And he's not, man. He's been, like Brandon said, he's Case Keenum.
Yeah.
Just a high draft pick.
Yeah, fair enough. I said I wasn't gonna preach and do no sermons, man, but I just don't see this being a thing. It may be kind of close looking because in the National Football League, everybody's relatively close, like everybody's talented, and the Browns are talented. Myles Garrett has the ability to give you a bad day. That's a good defensive front over there. You know what I mean? But, the more the game goes on, I think the Cowboys are just going to slowly pull away. I foresee like a 7-7 first quarter, and people start hitting me on Twitter like, Voch, what's going on? And I'll be like, relax. But by third quarter, it's probably going to be out of hand by then.
I don't think it happens like that. I think they start off fast.
Mm-hmm.
I think they start off fast and run away from him. I think if he go about 2 touchdowns, which I think they can do, that changes the whole dynamic of the football game because it makes it to the point that Baker has to throw. And the more that Baker throws, that's a greater chance for Baker to do what I expect him to do.
That's fair.
And that's to give the ball away.
And that's a stark contrast.
Ahead,
that's a stark contrast to what we've seen Dak have to do. We've seen him in moments where he's been down by 20, been down by 15. And then Dak turns on another gear. Dak has another gear that a lot of quarterbacks in this league don't have when it comes to playing from behind.
Sure.
You see him get the ball in his hand, and he has to air it out, and he does the things with CeeDee Lamb. He does the things with Michael Gallup, with Amari Cooper, with even Cedric Wilson and Noah Brown.
Sure.
Chris, you remember my favorite play in the Atlanta Falcons game was a called back play from Noah Brown because Dak threaded the needle expertly.
Sure.
We see Dak become the quarterback that we need him to be. We aren't going to see Baker Mayfield doing that. He had to be that guy playing against the Ravens, and he crashed and burned spectacularly.
Sure.
It was a 4th of July fireworks show.
Sure. What do you fellas think the offensive line is going to look like? Because just based on, like, happenings or whatever with this team, I've gotten a chance to do 2 offensive line videos on it, and I feel incredible about that because y'all know I love my offensive line or whatever. I normally want Zach Martin playing guard because that's where he's at, but we playing Myles Garrett this week. Can we just have tackle Zach Martin one more time and then you bump him back inside, you know what I'm saying? We move on forward to the regular D-lines or whatnot. That's just my thing. I don't want Terrence Steele to have to deal with Myles Garrett or whatever, but, that's on Brother Mike. We'll see what happens. But, Chris, what you think is going on with the offensive line?
Well, first off, I watched the video, and I watched it twice because me and Brandon looked back over last year, and we already had Joe Looney gone. I told him how much I couldn't stand Joe Looney. I hated Joe. Joe's a great person, good family man, good sound guy, kind of guy I want to come over for the family cookout.
Right.
But I don't want him blocking nobody because he didn't block with Tyler. And what you showed about how Tyler is right now, his first year, that help out guy. Like, hey, if you doing something over there, hey, I'll help you out over here. Hey, you cutting the grass, hey, I'll bring over my lawn. I'll bring over the weed eater. So he's that kind of guy up front. So I have no problem with Tyron getting some reps this week.
Yeah. I
can go with Connor Williams. I kind of want to touch base on Connor Williams. I want Tyler starting. I don't want to see Joe on the field. I want to have the gangster, edging up as being one of the greatest offensive linemen in Cowboy history, Zach Martin. And, man, I'll take my chances with Brandon Knight over there. I'll take my chances with Brandon Knight with a little mixture of, Blake Bell. I'll take my chances with a little Dalton Schultz and run with that. That wide 9 that Myles Garrett runs with, I'm going to have to kick out a little bit. I'm going to have to chip him and do what I have to do. But that's what I want out there.
Chris funny as hell, man. He say, look, man, Joe Looney a good God-fearing man, but I don't want him blocking him.
God-fearing. Love the Lord.
Good man.
Yeah.
Good old Christian boy.
Good guy. But he doesn't play with power. And the one thing he's great at is getting out. He's supposed to be a great space guy.
Yeah.
But what you find most of the times, if you go back and look at his tape in 2018, he's like
lack of power, man.
He fumbled in the backfield. He tripped over somebody. Yeah. He's always that guy that's right in the middle making a mess. But you turn around and you blame somebody else. You showed in your video that Zach Martin kind of leaked in on that last play. Sure. I'm sorry. That last play with the sack with Benson Mayo, and I still have to say this out. How the hell you let Benson Mayo make any kind of play?
Yeah.
How you let Benson Mayo do anything?
Go ahead, Brandon. What'd you say?
And here's the thing that I see. I see Joe Looney as kind of like the crazy guy in one of those Lifetime movies. Appears like a nice guy to the parents and anything, but then he beats up the girlfriend, and the girlfriend gets Stockholm Syndrome because she loves him and she's scared to leave him. That's an abusive relationship that I think that the Dallas Cowboys have with Joe Looney.
Yeah.
And I really hope that Tyron plays, because that puts us in a position where we don't have to have Joe play. If Tyron Smith played, I want Zach at guard, and just like Chris said, I'll risk it with Brandon at right tackle. And honestly, if Tyron doesn't play, I am to the point where I would risk Connor McGovern, even though he has to be doing something wrong if the coaches didn't even feel comfortable putting him in over Joe, even though Joe was failing spectacularly in the middle. But I would risk putting Connor McGovern at left guard and pushing Connor Williams over to right guard with Tyler in the middle, just in order to get Joe out of there.
Yeah.
I was one of those guys that didn't see Joe even making this team. I'm very low on Joe Looney. Love him as a person. I'm sure that he would give you the shirt off of his back if you need it. But I don't want him on my field. I don't think that he is capable of protecting my quarterback. And that is very important, because I don't fear any team with Dak as my quarterback.
Sure.
And he needs to be upright in order for me to continue feeling that way.
That's a big ass shirt, man. So Diggs is probably gonna be chasing Beckham around. Do y'all have any fear about that? Because Diggs been money for the past, you know what I'm saying, the past 3 games. He's run around with with Cooper Kupp, with Julio Jones, DK Metcalf. I feel to be fair, DK Metcalf scored when he was on the left side of the field. He didn't score when he was on Diggs' side. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm not saying that Diggs is some lockdown corner, but he is the best guy that we have, and he just keep getting more and more challenges. But he been busting ass. What y'all think about Diggs so far? Brandon, go first.
I think that Trayvon Diggs is going to be an amazing corner in this league, and he has to get reps in order to keep getting better. That's going to end up with him getting, losing a couple of those plays, and I'm okay with that, because I can see his bar steadily rising, his talent level slowly getting better.
Yeah.
And we saw his mental maturation when he let DK Metcalf get comfortable and knock the ball out of his hands into the end zone to get a touchback. He made it look effortless, like he knew exactly what he was going to do.
Right.
He looked like he was one of those guys that'll run up and take your lunch and then just run off because he had planned in his head the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
That it wasn't panicked. It wasn't a dive and a mistaken swat. He ran up, put his hand exactly where he needed to be.
Sure.
So I'm comfortable with him being lined up against Beckham, because has Odell really burned any other defenders that he's been against? Has Odell gone off constantly against the Washington football Padres or the Cincinnati Bengals?
I mean, Brandon keep giving me new names for the football team that plays up north here. That's not too far from him. I haven't seen Odell be that guy that we saw in New York in a long, long time. So I don't think I have to worry about him in that manner. I think Diggs is he's a gamer, man. And he's just going to continue to get better and better and better. I don't have a problem with him out there running around with that. The guy that I kind of worry about is the guy on the opposite side, because Landry is a pure possession receiver. So whatever Worley's going to do over there, or whatever Jordan Lewis, whoever ends up getting on him, that'll probably be my issue. I think Odell will have his. I just don't think he has the kind of game that just destroys the football team. So I'm not worried about that. I'm excited about what Diggs is doing. I'm excited that they threw him in the deep end of the pool. And hey, man, he's just never given up on anything, man. He's never given up on any play he's been on. That play he made on Metcalf was an amazing play. But he's willing to fight every down, and I'm excited for him. So I'm waiting to see who he plays next, man. It's like he has gone against some of the best guys in the game.
Right. He's
gone against super route running, nuanced guys. But I think Odell is on the backside of his career, so I don't think he's going to take over the game guy this week.
Somebody in the chat box
and
said,
I'm glad that you.
Hey, listen, somebody in the chat box said Brandon looked like Robin Harris.
Oh, wait a minute.
Somebody in the chat box said.
Pass, I didn't mean to call. I wasn't the one to call Joe Piccolo player.
I don't want to say their name. I don't want to say their name because I want no trouble. But somebody said you like Robert Harris. I can hear myself now. Stop. Okay, cool. Any other thoughts on this team, this offense, this defense? Anything y'all want to say?
I like that Chris said that Diggs has gone against premier talent. It's worth knowing that Metcalf and Ridley both are top 5 when it comes to receiving yards. So they are the top of the top when it comes to receivers.
Wait. I can hear you twice. I can hear me through somebody's phone right now. So both of y'all hit mute, then unmute, because I can hear me through. Yeah. Testing. It's Brandon's phone. Now unmute Brandon.
I think it might be me.
There we go. All right, we good. Go ahead, Brandon. Go ahead. Say what you're saying.
Technology crazy, man. But I don't think that Odell in his current form is Metcalf or Calvin Ridley.
Okay.
So he's probably gonna have an easier time against Odell with Baker throwing to him because, to be honest, I think that Matt Ryan is a better deep ball thrower than Baker Mayfield, and their offense is made to do that. So he's actually going to get a little bit of a break compared to his last 2 games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel you on that. Even though I think he'll be better in some other jersey or whatever. I don't think Odell's falling off at all. I still think he's one of the best receivers in the game. It's there's something going on over there in Cleveland, and Baker ain't making it no better for him. And Dak would make him great. I ain't saying he should be here because I don't really, I'm a firm believer because I'm locker room guy, man. I'm locker room guy. And if you one of them people that wouldn't take Odell, but you would take Earl Thomas, like what I'm saying, like Josie Wales Brown or whatever, Antonio Brown. If you would take them,
oh no,
but you won't take, what I'm saying, then you're phony. Then you're phony as hell. But my bad, Chris. You have any closing remarks on this team, this offense, this defense, anything like that, sir? Closing remarks.
Man, I'm 4 games into a 2020 season where I get no OTAs, and I didn't get all the stuff that I need to get for my guys who I wanted to see a big step forward. I just would ask for Cowboy Nation to have more patience for these guys. Because I remember when we drafted Neville Gallimore, and everybody was like, well, since we got Neville Gallimore, we can kick Tristan Hill out and leave him on the side and let the milkman take him away. Mm-hmm. Tristan Hill don't even belong on this team. Yeah, you my dude, but you was one of them cats. But I'm not gonna put you out there. So I just believe it takes time and effort for those guys to grow. I think guys lost so much with this COVID thing is that's why you don't see him on the field. The question everybody's asking, why isn't Connor Montgomery on the field? Well, he didn't have a full offseason. The dude tore his pec. He went on IR, and he didn't get a chance to be in the building the whole time. When you don't get to put your hands on players the way you need to, and you've only had these guys fully in camp or in your presence for under 8 weeks and implementing everything they're putting, you're going to have these hiccups. But the hiccups I don't have is on the offensive side of football. I don't have any hiccups with my quarterback, Ryan Dakota Prescott.
Sure.
I'm going to get healthier in my O-line. I found my swing tackle for the future in Brandon Knight.
Sure.
And, man, I get to get back on track. I get to get back a little bit on track. I don't have to face All-Pro Defensive Player of the Year a daggone great hustle guy in the D line, so you can quit beating up on Connor Williams and saying he's terrible. You know, I even heard my man Jeff Kavanaugh say, man, that that Connor Williams ain't even a starting level guard in the NFL. Like, God dang, man. Damn. I mean, this dude is in there fighting with dudes, and I can say this for a fact. I see Grady Jarrett's family. Grady Jarrett taking care of a gang of folks, because I saw him at the Pro Bowl this year. That dude had an entourage of about 15 damn people. Grady Jarrett out there whooping asses for real. So he ain't just paying child support. He paying car notes, mortgage, take care of mama. Connor had some real shit on his hands these past 3 weeks. I don't think he has that problem this week. He looks good. They play well. The O-line protects. Cowboys win by 2 touchdowns.
All right, then. I asked the chat box for some questions, so we ain't gonna do this too long. Some of these questions be the same question, but you know we can give them about 5 minutes. So somebody said Diggs would be leading the NFL with 4 interceptions, but he dropped all of them. So that's good upside. That's potential. He's good. Exactly. The lunatic says, "What will you see early versus Cleveland that will worry you?" Myles Garrett. If we can deal with Myles Garrett, the rest will be fine. What y'all think?
Myles Garrett is Myles Garrett, man.
Yeah.
Cleveland does not have a single second or third level defender that worries me.
Sure.
They also don't have the interior pressure that Atlanta was getting in the form of I couldn't even begin to pronounce the guy's name who was punching out all of the balls.
Yeah.
So if we contain Myles Garrett, then we'll continue to do what we've been doing. For what it's worth, I think that Aaron Donald is still a slight level above Myles Garrett. So we've seen the rest of the offense mature. So we're going to see probably better containment of that defensive threat while still matriculating the ball down the field.
Sure. Got a question. Who will play better, the pass rush or the corners? I think for the rest of the season, the corners going to be who they are, and I think the pass rush will get better. Now, the corners can't get better talent-wise, but they can get better in terms of just being in the right place at the right time. I think Aldon Smith will continue to get better. I think D-Law will keep getting better. Everson will figure this thing out. Duntari will, get back in shape, and what I'm saying, he'll be good to go full blast or whatever. So I think for the rest of the year, whenever it is, we're gonna have to lean on D-line, and then Sir Randy Gregory comes back in like 2 weeks after this, and Van Der Esch will also be back. So we'll probably be better on defense. Chris, what you think?
I mean, that's definitely what you said. Everybody's going to get better and better as time goes on.
Sure.
I'm just, the one thing I'd be worried about is if you start naming somebody else on that D-line whipping ass outside of Myles Garrett, because you expect Myles Garrett to be that guy. I think if you can contain him, slow him down, and he's not making plays on money downs. Like if you turn around first and second down and you contain him, but you let him get loose on third down and blow up the play, then I got a problem. But if Sheldon Richardson starts looking like somebody, then that's when I'll start having problems. I think the quarterback play will get better. I think Chidobe is better than Darryl Worley. I think Anthony Brown, as much as we didn't think of before, I think he's better than Jordan Lewis. But I think Jordan Lewis is still getting himself back into shape after being out of football for 3-4 weeks. That dude had a high ankle sprain. And so I think he turns around and gets better. So I think incrementally, more reps, more snaps, the whole secondary gets better.
Fair enough.
And
go ahead.
I got to go back to what I said earlier. Help is on the way.
Right.
You mentioned that you think that our secondary is going to be what it is. They're not going to get better talent-wise, but they're going to get better personnel-wise. As much as I wasn't a huge fan of Anthony Brown, I'm okay with admitting that he's going to be better than 2 out of the 3 guys on that field, because I think that Trayvon Diggs is going to be better than him within a matter of weeks. And then you're also going to get Cheeto back, who I think is a valuable piece on this defense. So, but you watch anime, I think that you'll get this analogy. Remember when Frieza was coming to Earth as a cyborg, and then Trunks came out of nowhere and laid the hands on him?
Yeah.
That is what our defense is going to get. because you're gonna get Randy back. You're gonna get Sean Lee and Robot Layton back,
Right.
and then you're gonna get our 2 corners back.
Right.
So that is gonna be the bolstering on our defense when we feel like we just need something. And I can't wait for that moment, because when you couple that with our defensive front, who are a lot of new guys,
Sure.
continuing to gel as a unit, it's gonna be something beautiful. Because, like I said, it only gets easier from here. Cowboys fans, look at our next 4 or 5 games, and you're not gonna see talent like the Rams or the Falcons or the Seahawks. So
we could be using
have
that time
to get better.
to clean all the little mess up. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Chris.
Absolutely.
Just think about how many think about the different combinations. You don't really have even a set package of guys that you're running out on third down. You got, one time you'll see Everson Griffin over there. You'll see Alden Smith, but you haven't seen a package where you've had Tristan, Everson, Demarcus Lawrence, and Alden Smith. And then, so they're just like, okay, these 4 look good. Let's throw that out there. Okay, well, these 3 or 4 look good. Let's throw that. They're still tinkering with pieces along this defensive line. Mm-hmm. So that's why I think it's been said, mid-season form means everything.
Yep.
And I don't think they're nowhere near that. I think if we get this game 8, 9, 10, like when you get to Thanksgiving, and then you will start finally seeing the last little pieces that, you'll start seeing, everything congealing together to make that perfect, that perfect pound cake, man. And man, you know how good a great pound cake tastes, man. I think that's what it's going to look like around week 10, man.
Oh man, great stuff. Everybody that's watching live right now, I'm dropping a link in my chat box. This is the latest episode of More Football. It's the Yahoo Sports collab that I be working on. If y'all don't mind,
watch that.
You know what I'm saying? Just hit that link, go over there, say something nice about Voch or whatever in the comments. I mean, you can say whatever you want to say. Some dude went over there and said Yahoo must don't be shooting dice in the bathroom like everybody else. I thought that comment was incredible.
Hey man, when you hit the point where you can get inside jokes, man, that's how you know you made it, man.
It's lovely. But y'all click that link and go check that out. Also, I'll be dropping a link for Frankly Football on YouTube, or y'all can just not be lazy. Go to the little search bar, type in Frankly Football, and these gentlemen will be there. You know what I mean? So Frankly Football on YouTube. I got a lot of faith in them. That's why they on this channel. You know what I'm saying? And I don't collab very, very much. I don't do it a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's either round table, solo, or I'm elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? So shouts out to these fellas that have some good information. Y'all got anything else that y'all promoting? Foots do music, so like, do any of y'all rap or something?
Nah, man.
We will do a lot of that, man. Brandon's just a super hardworking guy, man. I love you, man, and I love what you've done, man. But man, I'm just a hardworking father of 5, and man, trying to continue to work with my amazing kid, man. He's trying to be a first-round draft pick one day in the NFL, man. That's all I care about, man.
All right, then. Hey, look, appreciate y'all fellas for coming through. Just because y'all came on the show don't mean that y'all can't call the post-game show Sunday.
Oh, man, listen, that's how we got started, man.
Okay.
Hey, you know what? I wanted to ask you, Voch, though, since we haven't had a lot to cheer about that we want to, man, and I don't want to get you demonetized or you two to think you some kind of crazy guy, but we need the Glock, man. I love the war cry, but man, I just love the way the hammer sound. And Brandon, he's a legalized gun carrying guy. He bring out his weapons too, man. So this week, man, when we win, man, bring out the hacks, man. I love the machete. I love hearing the sound when it's click clack when the hammer sliding. Hey, man, I just love that part, man. Man, great audience, man. Love everybody in the chat box, man. All the people in there, man. And thanks for having me, man.
Well, Chris, your luck, my money. I was just trying to find a way to incorporate it this week because, and I haven't done it much this year because I'm on camera a lot more this year than I used to be. But I was like, how can I get the slide involved? You know what I mean? How can I get that sound?
Yeah, man. Ain't nothing great, man. When people bring in fire, like when people brought, Terrence aluminum,
yeah,
Terrence copper, Terrence Rusty Linoleum, man, I'm telling you, man, it was that's a bring the get the strap type moment, man. So I'm just trying to figure out how you can do that, man. But I don't want to get you demonetized, man. And you're doing big things with Yahoo Sports, man, and definitely the things that you're trying to collaborate with, bringing other YouTubers on the Yahoo and getting that area, man. Man, that's a testament to you, man, because most people would get in that spot or get in that position and would think about only themselves, and you've thought about other people. So that, man, that's just a testament to the guy you are.
Appreciate it, man. We gon' boogie. That being said, that's Frankly Football. Chris and Brandon, y'all don't forget, hit my links, hit they links, get everybody involved, and hey man, y'all hold it down for the Doski Wosk and Peace. Hold on, let me thank my money people because they're important too. Hold on. Anime Dog Fan drop 5 and Marcus Hardison drop 5 in the PayPal. So I appreciate both of y'all. Hey, until next time, I will see y'all Sunday after the game for the best post-game show in the YouTube Cowboy land. You know what I'm talking about? Peace, y'all.